What's up, family? It's going to be a heavy conversation today. Some of you aren't going to like it. Some of you aren't going to be able to hear and accept what I have to say. And some of you are probably going to unsubscribe. It is what it is. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But it's something that we need to discuss nonetheless. Sit back, buckle up. Because this is for grown ups, this is for mature people. Age ain't got nothing to do with maturity. This is for mature people. Let's go. Today I want to talk about emotional affairs. Emotional affairs. It's interesting. I get on social media and I see so many people post all the time. Um, Post demanding loyalty and faithfulness and woo-dee. You know what I mean? And what they're saying is they're demanding and expecting physical loyalty. You know, they expect you to be sexually faithful, sexually committed. That's just the beginning process of of it. You know what I mean? Of loyalty and commitment. See, it's crazy because we're talking about emotional affairs. Stay with me. It may take a minute to get there, but I promise you we're going somewhere. And some of you aren't gonna like it. The great majority of people, they may be loyal, faithful sexually, but the great majority of us, the great majority of people, have an emotional affairs every day. Emotional affairs. And what I mean by that, when you go to work and you have a work spouse or work husband or work wife or any of that other BS, because that's what it is. It's all BS. You know what I mean? That's just, that's your fling. You may not think so because you're not sexually involved and you may not ever kiss them or whoop de whoop de whoop, any of that other superficial stuff. You are emotionally attached to that person. You are having an emotional affair with that person. That's your fling. They may not be a booty call, but that's your fling. That's your side chick. That's your side dude. And the trip is, it could be a family member. It could be a sibling. It could be a parent, a cousin. It could be anybody. Anytime you have, anytime you engage in conversation, you do the little smiling and batting the eyes and that certain look and all that other stupid stuff where you know you're flirting and you know that you couldn't do that in front of your significant other. You know that you couldn't act like that in front of your significant other. You're cheating. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. You're a cheater. You're a cheater. Anytime you engage in conversations that you could not, would not engage in standing in front of your significant other, you are a cheater. You're not faithful and you're not loyal. And dudes, for the most part, we think that it's just women that do this. Dudes, for the most part, man, girls always got side dudes that they emotional with and sharing their stories with, their business with, and whoop de whoop de whoop, and they telling all their information about their man to this dude who's just a friend, who's just a brother to them. You know what I mean? And we all got codes. You know what I mean? That's my little sister. That's my brother. That's my big brother. That's my big sister. You know, y'all know what it is. We can call people what we want to call them. Y'all know what it is. Don't act new. And so, if you're engaging in conversations with somebody else, whether it's male or female, same sex, opposite sex, don't matter now. If you're engaging in conversations with this person that's not your significant other, that you're not engaging in with your significant other, or that you would not engage in with your significant other, you're a cheater. If you're divulging information to this other person about stuff that's going on with you that you do not share with your significant other, you're a cheater. If you're divulging information about your significant other or what's going on in your household, where your significant other would be offended, would be embarrassed, would be pissed off, you're a cheater. You're a cheater. That may not be your intent. Your intent is, man, I just needed somebody to talk to. I just needed somebody to vent to. I just needed somebody just to exhale to and whoopty whoopty whoop. Let me tell you something. I've lived a long, hard, rough life. Let me tell you something. I don't know it all. I've never claimed to know it all. But if you're engaging in any type of conversations or things of that nature with people outside of the person that you're in a relationship, significant other, you're ruining your relationship at home with your significant other. You're not faithful. You're not loyal. I don't care what you do sexually. You could be a saint sexually, but if you're engaging in these types of conversations with other people, you're not loyal and you're not faithful. Because you're giving a part of you that you should have reserved for your significant other. You're giving that to somebody else. You're taking your energy, part of your energy that should be reserved just for you and your significant other, and you're sharing that with other people. You're giving a part of you away that you should not be giving away, that should be reserved just for your significant other. I work with a lot of people. I work with a lot of single moms. And it's crazy because I've seen so many single moms having emotional affairs with their sons and their daughters, sharing information with those kids that they shouldn't, creating emotional attachments and bonds that shouldn't be established. And so now when that kid grows up, they can't have a healthy relationship because a part of them that's supposed to be reserved for their significant other, it's attached to their mom. And so you see all the, we see it a lot in young dudes. Women always talk about, man, he can't even have a healthy relationship with me because his mama, he attached to his mama. He's still at his mama's breast, or you know what I mean? He's still attached. He's still on her hip, and whoop de whoop de whoop, because his mama had an emotional affair with him when he was younger. And now there are emotional ties and attachment that should have never been established. That happens with young girls as well. That happens with moms and daughters as well. And so now the daughters and moms, the daughters grow up and they're more like sisters than they are mom and daughter. And they can't have healthy relationships with dudes or whatever they want to have a relationship with because they're attached to their mom still. They can't have healthy relationships because they're constantly running back to mama. They're constantly going back to mama with all the yeah, 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 yeah. And mama's constantly attached to them. Yeah, 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 yeah. Y'all know how it is. You know what it is. You see it. And it's like that because there was an emotional affair that took place that the mom established, not knowing what she was doing. She thought she was just talking to her kid. She thought she was just talking to her daughter. She thought she was just having a conversation with her son. but it's deeper than that. It's always deeper than that. When we're having these conversations at work, when we're having these conversations with our homies, and I so many dudes, and it's like I had cut dudes off for the most part because they gossip more than women do for the most part. You know what I mean? And it's like I ain't got time for all that madness, man. I ain't trying to hear that mess. I'm not. You know what I mean? To each their own. You know what I mean? But your dude should know more about you and your thoughts than your girl. And I understand. We have friends that we've been talking to for years. And obviously they're gonna know more about our past than our current relationship person we're in a current relationship with would. But the person that we're in a relationship with now, once we establish that we're in this committed type of relationship, there's nobody that should know more about you and that should be more intimately connected to you than that person. From that moment, you guys establish that type of relationship. All the stuff your homies had to talk about, or all the stuff that they know, it should be old news. It should be all old news. All the stuff your friends, your partners, whatever, all the stuff that your coworkers may know, it should be all old news. It shouldn't be current affairs. You shouldn't be going to work and venting because he pissed you off last night, or because he can't do this, or he won't do this, and whoop de whoop de whoop. And now everybody up in your business, everybody know your business. They may not say nothing, but I guarantee you they going home saying something. I guarantee you they probably on their phone with somebody else talking about something else. And you can say, oh, well, they're faithful to me and they wouldn't do this to me and whoop de whoop because they share information with me, blah, blah, blah. Okay, but that's still not healthy. That's still not beneficial to your relationship at home with your significant other. If you can't have these conversations with your significant other standing right there listening to you, then you're out of pocket. I don't care who you're talking to. If you can't divulge this information with your significant other standing there, then you're out of pocket. If you can't smile with this coworker and flirt like you do with this coworker and play the little games y'all play with your coworker, if you can't do that with your significant other standing there, then you're out of pocket. You're out of pocket. And what I mean out of pocket, you crossed that line. You're having an affair. You're wrong. Talking about emotional affairs. So many of us demand physical, sexual loyalty and commitment. We demand these people have our back when we ain't got their back. When we don't have their emotional back. When we don't have their spiritual back. And the great majority, when we don't have their physical back. We may not violate the trust sexually or the relationship sexually, but we violated it in every other way. The only way you didn't violate it was sexually. And some of y'all trampy. Some of y'all out there doing it sexually too. It is what it is. I told you this is for grown-ups. But you can't demand something that you're not doing. We have to grow up, family. We have to grow up. I love you guys. Happy healing. Peace.